Um, of course, it's a good feeling to be playing better football. Of course, the last 3 weeks, we went into the third quarter, of course, to play a good third quarter of ball, and being able to get those 3 wins, of course, said that, which sets up the biggest fourth quarter we've had since we've been here. This position you want to be in. Most games are decided at the end of the game, and the fourth quarter you have to play your best ball. So our football team realizes where we are. Of course, one of our goals has been to, take steps as we build our program. And one of those steps is to get to a bowl game. And we don't talk about that an awful lot until you get to that game where if you win, you're in. So as we talk about being in the playoffs, I mean, this is it. It's a playoff game for us, and we're looking at it that way. A lot of guys are playing their best football right now, which is big. Offensively, last couple of weeks, no turnovers. It's about ball security, being able to run the football. Brandon Peters was our offensive player of the game. Just a lot of good things going on. Dre Brown, of course, continues to play really good football. Josh Bebe making big plays. Everybody has stepped up. And defensively, it starts up front. And I could say the same thing about our offensive line too. But our defensive line, we were missing a couple players, but other players that have been in a reserve role really stepped up. Guys like Isaiah Gay in particular. Jamal Milan played his best football. But when you're the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week, like Dele Harding was, he just played out. He's been playing outstanding football throughout. I mean, how can a player playing the way Dele Harding is not be on the Buckets watch list too? I want to try to figure that one out. But he and Jake Hansen are really playing outstanding football. I can't think of two linebackers that I've seen in college football playing better than the two of those. Nate Hobbs has been wanting to get a splash play for a long period of time. Him getting the ball in the end zone, of course, was big. That's all in the past. It's all fine and dandy, but as I said, it's about this week. Blake Hayes, we're going to count on him again to pin the guys down there. Michigan State, of course, they're fighting just like we are. Good football teams have to be able to go on the road and play well. I think we're built for that, so we're really looking forward to it. Injury-wise, hopefully we'll be getting a couple players back, but we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Take your question.
The takeaways, the fumbles forced, seems like something the defense has a lot of influence on, but fumble recovery, does that seem like something that's been good fortune or a practice also?
Well, I think the defensive guys would say that, that both of them are hard to do, and they just don't happen. Yeah, it's hard, causing fumbles, but to recover them. And when you recover them, and we're really, how much we buy into taking the ball away, but just love what we've been doing on the offensive side of turning those turnovers, takeaways on the offensive side into points. So it's all going together.
Linebackers are playing very well. How has Miles influenced that group this year?
Black Gale position coach. First off, he has some guys to work with. They buy into it. Just pleased with what has happened in that room. In Miles' case, the first time coaching linebackers, that's been documented enough. But again, just like what they've done. And we talked a lot about Jake Hansen and about Dele Harding, but Milo Eifler played his best football of the year also. All three of those guys, again, they're making a difference.
What did Donnie Navarro do last year when he was sitting out there? Maybe showed you a little bit that he could be the type of productive guy like he has been the last couple of weeks.
I think if you're on the football team, you've done something to show us that you can get the job done. Sometimes you have to wait for your opportunity, and I think that's the case with Donnie. He has done some good things around here, contributed on special teams, and what little time he had gotten, he took advantage of it. And if you continue to do that, you get more reps. And I've never seen a player that deserved to play that didn't get an opportunity to. Circumstances just allows you a chance to really show who you are, and it's left up to you to take advantage of it. Donnie has taken advantage of it. We'll need him as we go forward.
What challenges does Michigan State provide? I know they've had a tough go, but playing good opponents, what do you see from them on film?
And Coach Smith will talk on it a little bit more, but, you know, of course, they played outstanding defense for a long period of time. Offensively, commitment to the, you know, to the run through the years. I'm just talking traditionally on what they've been. They've opened up their offense a little bit more spread than we're used to seeing from them. They're going to have good skill guys. I mean, good linemen. You know, Michigan State is one of the best programs in college football, and that's who we're going against.
Lovie, obviously you guys have been generating a lot of takeaways, but it seems like some of your seniors have been responsible for a lot of those. Stanley Green said that it's kind of about time some of those guys start producing like that. What have you seen them do to get things to click?
Well, you're right. If we're talking about a senior, it is time. You know, as we talk about having an opportunity to go to bowl games, none of us have, and of course the senior class hasn't, and you run out of time. So you want guys to step up, and rightfully so. Stanley Green has played outstanding ball since he came back from the injury. Tymier Oliver, you know what you're going to get from him always. I mentioned Jamal Milan and how he's played. So we need those guys to play that way, especially seniors. And, of course, I know we're talking defensive line a little bit, but then you throw in our captain, Dele Harding. But that's what we expect.
A lot of guys talked about just believing in themselves a little more after closing out that Wisconsin win. Have you noticed a change, maybe just in attitude a little bit over the last few weeks?
I think it has to give you confidence when you make plays, you find a way to win, you do something you haven't done before that you know, knew you were capable of doing, but you need to be able to do it. You get momentum, of course, that does an awful lot for the buildings. A little bit more giddy up in everybody's step a little bit more excitement. And to be playing football that matters in November, that's what we're really most excited about, is an opportunity to do something we haven't done in a long period of time.
What stands out about Michigan State's defensive line play? Why are they so good?
They play hard, sound fundamentally. They play hard. You know, similar front. You know, of course, as far as how we play defense, so the two of us I'm talking about. You know, it starts up front with them. You know, when you're talking about most of the time a four-man front, how does the defensive line play? As an excellent defensive lineman, and that kind of goes from the back.
2 years ago, when all those freshmen played as true freshmen, did you see something like this envisioning 2 years down the road of what you guys could be?
I should hope so. I mean, when you play freshmen like that, we played those guys back then because they were the best we had, and they're a couple years older. So good things should be happening for them, and they are. So yes, we saw it, and we were hoping that this would be the case, and almost to a man, all the guys that are still here, we've seen our game, you know, improve so much. And again, it's time for it to start adding. It's one thing to be making improvements, for it to show up in the win column. Yes.
The reps at defensive tackle. What was reasoning behind that? What do you think he can do there that could get him more playing time in the future?
Well, when you look banged up, I mean, we want guys that are flexible, that can do a couple things inside. Owen Carney won't be playing an awful lot inside except on passing downs, and these were a few passing downs where we had a pretty good idea that they weren't going to. We're hoping they weren't going to run the football. They did on a couple of those situations, but he gives us some flexibility.
When you talk about the middle linebacker being the quarterback of your defense, what is it about Dele's skill set or personality that's allowed him to excel in that position?
First off, he's a smart player. He gets it. He knows. And when when guys are watching you, he does everything right. So he has everybody's attention. So knowing what to do and being a voice, that's good. But then when you start playing, you need to play good football. And nobody's played better ball than Dele Harding has. That gets your attention a little bit more. But just like as Coach Smith would say on the offensive side, it starts with the quarterback. Dele Harding makes a lot of checks based on formations and just, all the communication that goes on with him. He's got a lot on his plate before he has to line up and do his job. But he's done it well.
You mentioned And the buck is less for him, so clearly you're not happy about him being not on there, right?
Oh, I'm not happy. I'm just going to say that, I mean, University of Illinois, Buckus statue out front. Mike Linebacker at the University of Illinois has as good a stats as anyone around. Who's the leading tackle in the Big Ten? Who? Is it Dele? Who scored more touchdowns, defensive touchdowns, than Dele Harding? Calls fumbles, recovered fumbles. What else are you looking at? I don't know the criteria for it, but it's not about individual awards mid-season. I assume eventually you keep playing football, the respect that everybody deserves they get.
What would clinching a bowl berth mean for you personally and for particularly the seniors?
I'll just go to the seniors. I mean, guys that have, been here 4 years and have contributed so much to the growth of our program. That's how you reward good play. A job well done, feel like it's get to a bowl game. And to have that opportunity first, that's what we're talking about now. We have an opportunity to do something in November that we haven't had in a long period of time, and that's all the seniors are asking. And to have a chance to finish it up the right way, and I'm betting on them.
What's the dynamic like when your program gets more of a spotlight on it? You guys get more attention?
That's good. I guess everybody want that. I think the team is focused more on, just how we're playing, and if you continue to play well, good things happen to you. It's kind of simple as that. Keep your head down, keep working every day. That's what we've been preaching for a long period of time, and for the players to actually see it turning out that way, of course, is big.
Coach, your game plan against Wisconsin feels like it could be one that you could use again against Michigan State. Like, how much confidence do the guys have knowing that you're kind of going up against similar offenses and you had success against Wisconsin? You might be able to see on Saturday against Michigan State.
Similar in a way, but pretty different, I'd probably say. But we've known. I mean, Michigan State has had the same coaching staff there for a long period of time, and we can even go back to some of the things that they did a few years ago when we played them. But feel like we're equipped to have a chance to have success against anybody, any type of offense that we play. And you call upon all of the successes that you've had and some mistakes you've made. We're going to try not to make those, of course, this week.
Kind of going off of that, your defense has had some of its better performances this year against those pro-style type of offenses. Why would you what would you just kind of attribute to that, other than being able to?
I don't want to make it simplified too much. It's playing better ball. It's not like we've changed up. You guys are the ones that have been trying to get us to change up what we believe in defensively, and we weren't buying that. We believe in what we're going to do and what we've been doing, and it works if guys buy in, which they've done, and continue to work hard. You eventually see some positive results, and that's what we're seeing.
Coach, there was another recent study that came out about CTE. How has that affected the way you coach defense and protecting players?
It hasn't affected how we coach it at all. I mean, everything we do, of course, is geared towards player safety. We're not going to ever put our guys in tough situations. We try to teach the guys the proper way to block, tackle, not to lead with your head, don't use a helmet as a weapon. So it hasn't affected anything that we've really done.
How has this surge affected recruiting for you guys, not only in the 2020 class, but
How is it what now?
how has it affected recruiting, just this recent pregame?
The surge, okay. Well, it all helps. I mean, on what has helped our recruiting, first off, I'm going to go back. Seems like every time I've talked in a press conference, I've talked about our facility. That has helped quite a bit. But it always comes down to, with young people, they want to go and play eventually for a winning program. So that part of it, of them being able to see a better product on the football field, has helped an awful lot. As you know, each week we're recruiting right up until all day. Yesterday, big recruiting. So we have a lot of things going on that way, and yes, all of it has helped.
So the recruits been kind of impressed the last couple of weeks when they walk past the Bucket statue.
You would have to be, and especially anybody associated with football in general would have to. You go by there, it gets your attention. You should be impressed and get goosebumps a little bit, and especially for guys that play defense too. And as a linebacker, to go across. I get a chance to play at the same place, Dick Buckus. And if you didn't know that, of course, with that statue out there, there's always someone taking a picture with it. So it's one of the, Dick's one of the most popular guys on campus, I'll say that.
Lovie, can you talk about your comfort level in calling this the most important game of your tenure and these guys' tenure at Illinois? It seems like coaches like
My comfort level is
coaches
very,
sometimes like to downplay.
no, I'm not downplaying it at all. It is, and that's what we're saying. This is the biggest game we've had here since I've been here. That's how we're looking at it. Told the team that after the game, told the team that today. That will continue to be the message, but I don't think the Dre Browns, the Reggie Corbins, guys that have been around the Stanley Greens, they know that. You don't have to tell us how big this game is. We know how big it is.
$94,000 has been raised to that GoFundMe for Bobby
Yes.
Roundtree. Are you blown away by the Illini fan response, or what's your kind of reaction to it?
Well, blown away, yes, in a way. But did I expect it? Yes. I mean, that's what we've gotten. People love the university, number one, and realize that one of our own needs help. And what do you do when people you love need help? You step forward and do what you can. So it's just been humbling to see how many people care and reach out to donate. Believe me, a message from Bobby, he's blown away by it also. We all are.
I know him and him are obviously really close, but what was his mom's reaction to starting to see that money come in?
Well, guys, you know how the reaction would be. I'm just going to say from the entire family, very appreciative, thankful. Again, this is a tough time the family has been through, and to see people reach out like this. You know, sometimes you're out of sight, out of mind, but that's definitely not the case, and that's what this is saying.
Coach, there's a video of you in the locker room after the game, and you smiled and said, "Hey" to Bobby. I know you said last Saturday after the game that he's with you guys at every meeting, whatever it is. What exactly is it that made you want to keep him a part of this roster so much and make him feel like he's still here every day?
Well, I mean, he is a part of us every day. I mean, Bobby's in meetings. You know, now with modern technology, you're there always. You can communicate with him. And Bobby is. I mean, he's got opinions about what we do. One of the games, the first couple of defensive calls, I let him make. So he's been a part of everything that we do. The guys, of course, stay in contact with him, and so he should be in the locker room. He should have been in the locker room with him. It's a big day for our entire football team. As you go to the locker room, he's there. His locker's there. He's a part of us too.
There were some detailed allegations out against Larry Oladipo last week. I was just wondering, did you read that Twitter thread, and if so, what was your reaction?
I mean, what else can I say about it? We have a process. When guys do things they're not supposed to do, as a student at the University of Illinois, there's a process we go through. Larry is going through that process. He hasn't been a part of our football team in a while. He's been suspended from it, so it's not a whole lot more for me to say. Haven't had any communication with him. Our focus right now, of course, is on the guys that are here showing up every day with us.
Michigan State lost 3 in a row before going to their bye week to prepare for you guys. Is there a unique challenge to playing a team on more prep that might be desperate like them?
Well, they're more desperate than we are. I can't see that. I think you have two teams that need a win in the worst way. And this time of the year, that's how it should be, each game you play. So, yeah, I understand what they've gone through. We've gone through more than they have, and our focus is just on that. Thank you.